Day in the life of a waste compactor. Jump in the whip, say morning to the boss, we hit the road and pull up at our first location. We get into the super suits and set up the truck, then it's straight to a bit of smelly Tetris. We find a bin inside of a bin, bit of binception, as well as a suitcase inside of a suitcase. Nothing out of the ordinary here, we move through it pretty routine, a few squashes. We wheel the bins back off, get them back where they're supposed to be, and then we close up at that location. Job's a good one. We jump back on the truck, back on the road, and then we pull up at our second location. We see some signs of rats, so I do a full sweep of the area to make sure that it's clear before jumping in for a bit of smelly hook a duck, a bit of shovel and brush action, some squashing. You know the drill, it's back on the Squoshmobile. Now this next location is quite interesting. It uses bin chutes, so they're inside of these small little storage containers. This is how we found it today, but if you look how we found it a few weeks ago, it was absolutely covered in rubbish, as you can see. But me and Eric, being the legends that we are, we got it all cleaned up. And we seem to have started a trend because it's in a much better place. Just one single squash there, we lock up, job's a good one. And it's off to the next site where we find this baby, which thankfully isn't real, but it is extremely lifelike, and I must say it's quite unsettling. We sling her back in the bin, fold her up into a slow cooker before sitting her nicely on this chair, where she sits proudly before getting squashed. Bag for life bingo, we got Sainsbury's, Poundland and Iceland. Moving on swiftly, check the state that we found this bin store in. We found hazards like this insulin needle on the floor, but once we've done our thing, we leave it in a much better state. This is the last estate we'll be on for the day. We continue moving through, rinsing and repeating at the multiple bin stores. Again, at this next one, you can see a bit of a before and after, showing the difference that squashing can make. Some of the bins are in cages, some are in these like Metro bin store things. It don't make a difference to us, it all gets squashed. Thumbs up for the day. Bag it, bin it, squash it. Day in the life of a waste compactor. Jump in the whip, say morning to the boss.
Morning, Eric.
We say goodbye to Manchester, hit the road, and it's off to our first location, where we find 7 full bins, meaning no space for anyone's rubbish. So we do what we do best, get it all on the truck and get it squashed. Job's a good one. We head off to our next site, where an ally in our fight against waste rightfully says,
"It's mad how much gets thrown out in a week."
And he's right, it is mad how much gets thrown out in a week. Like this elf, this little Paw Patrol thing, and whatever the hell it was that made this bin start singing to us. While we're playing some smelly Tetris, the local tells us,
what you do is really good.
Not only is it nice to know that we're making a difference, but it's nice to know that people notice and appreciate it. A few more routine squashes here. Now in this job, sometimes you can come across rats. But as an equipped professional and one of Manchester's hardest men, this doesn't faze me in the slightest. Something that this next clip demonstrates rather well.
That's a good one. Okay.
After facing down the vermin without even as much as a flinch, I let my heartbeat return to normal and get on with some shovel and brushing action. Bit more squashing, we finish things up at this site, practice some dark arts with the shovel, find a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck. Hopefully that means no more rats. As you can see, the next estate's always a fun one, but we must be getting pretty good at this because we actually managed to move through it quite quickly today, before rewarding an hard day's work at the local chippy. Bag it, bin it, squash it. Day in the life of a waste compactor. Meet Eric at the usual pickup spot in the morning, we jump in the whip, hit the road to our first location. On the way we spot some naughty bins. Pulling up at the first site, we see this crow eating a full binglish. We get the gloves on, don the super suits, and wage war on overflowing bins. Among the weapons in our arsenal is the picker, which we use to play a really smelly game of hook a duck, except there's no prizes, just bin bags. I holster the weapon and crack on with our first squash of the day. I start driving this bin back to its original place. Handling the bins can be quite awkward. They're a bit big, a bit heavy. You got to come at them from a few different angles, but thankfully these new ones, they're like plastic, they've got these nice little handles on them. Job's a good one. Next location, we rinse and repeat, and we find this Aldi bag for life. Family fun and days in the sun, more like cardinal sin because it ends up in the bin. Anyway, we finish up there, grab a quick coffee, and then it's off to the next location. Quick stop at the shops, gotta be the Purdy's, obviously. Boom, we pull up at the next site, start doing our thing. It looks like someone's been trainer shopping. There's a pair of Tims there in decent nick, size 8 if anyone's after them. Back on the Squoshmobile, past the toll road, and it is a beautiful day to squash some bins. Another bag for life that's not for life. And this sticker from the council that says they can't collect what's in the bin because it's filled with something that can't be recycled. Well, guess what, council? If no one will do it, we will. Starting a little hall of fame for these stickers. Just round the corner on the estate, I'm unexpectedly ambushed by a dead rat. This local puts me at ease with some kind words.
Thank you so much for your help.
We finish up the job by a bit more routine squashing before closing up ready for another day. Bag it, bin it, squash it.